There we go. Oh, that one. Oops, up. Sorry. Or you can double click on.
Okay, go for it.
So, where's my.
Okay, we have to minimize that.
Okay, so if you click on the icon down here, it just. All right, let me show you something, Cindy. Okay,
Stop this. Okay.
I've got the pointer on the icon, so I give it a click, it maximizes, and then another click and minimize. Okay, so
minimize it.
okay, and then go to your Google. Oops.
Google.
Open that.
Right. And then
See,
it's
that's
ready to go live.
so. There's your go live on Facebook.
Oh, we missed a step.
Oh, here's SoundCloud right here.
Okay, so you gotta pull that
So if you hover, because part of it's off the screen, you can't really read it. But
Right.
if you hover over it, it gives you a bubble to look at.
So
So
we gotta start SoundCloud.
so we start SoundCloud.
There's your beautiful bamboo.
So we start SoundCloud, start YouTube.
Well, you gotta turn it on, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, you want to do it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Let's do it. All right, we'll do it.
Start the music.
All right. So there's SoundCloud, and then
It says live streaming.
it looks like we're already streaming. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's got that.
and then this one.
Now go
Okay.
live.
So now we're going live, and I believe we have everything.
Pick up. Let's see.
You
How do
wanna-
we pick that back up?
You just give the icon down here another click, and there we are.
Now I'm gonna check it and
We can see our controls.
It's
Oh.
on.
Actually, I think it's on. Yeah, they heard everything. But that's okay. They just got a tutorial on how to set this up.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everybody. We're live. Woot woot. We are online, and Deborah had some errands to run, so she usually handles the technical aspects of getting us streaming, but we got her done. So Cindy and I here today, and if somebody shows up, great. If not, we're still going to be with you all out there, and we're going to practice some Tai Chi and QiGong this morning. So at any rate, let me just get organized here real quick. And we can begin in the ready position and then step out, calling open the door with your left foot stepping out. And that way we are ready to begin. So we can do the commencing exercise where we unpack our chi, getting our breath and our energy ready to use. Okay. From here, we'll continue our breathing and opening our chest and broadening our chest and opening our heart, I should say, and connecting our breath with our movements to maximize our oxidization. There's a $2 word. $2. Yeah. Yeah. Oxidization. Yeah. Oxidization. Yeah. Sort of like hydrating, but only using oxygen. Not sure if that made any sense, but at any rate, we're broadening our chest. Pardon me? It's excellent. It's just the right sound level, and of course, it's This Zen selection is always, yeah, very nice. All right, so we'll go from broadening our chest to reeling the silk. So we come up through the center with our hands back to back and then out back into the universe. Nice back care. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I woke up with a little bit of a sore back this morning, so. Actually, truth be told, it had quite a bit. Yeah, that's all right. He gives us what we need, you know. Good workout. I always feel better afterwards. And you know what they say, if it's sore, if it's sore, it needs more. Let's reel some silk one last time. And now let's just do the gentle monkey. Let's just let our arms go limp. And just kind of pivot at the waist. Let your arms flap back and forth. Loosen up a bit. The kids seem to be able to relate to this one. All the nature-oriented names. Gentle monkey bear, or some call it ringing the temple bell. I can kind of picture that too. All right, nicely done. Let's put our hands there at the small of our back, kind of somewhere between the small of our back and our kidneys, and just rotate at the waist. Let's get a nice stretch in there. Very gently. If anything is the least bit uncomfortable, just modify or choose a different body movement. Ooh, something popped. Let's go ahead and twist in the opposite direction. Yeah. Yeah, my body knows that the gym Nazi's back. Thanks, Gary. No, thanks. Seriously. All right. Beautiful. And so, thrusting hands is a relatively new form I learned from a guy in the park when we were on hiatus, and it's a Tai Chi routine where you're practicing. And so why don't we go ahead and just do a little bit of warm-ups with that. We begin with our hands at our sides with our palms facing down, and as our hands leave our side, the palms twist upward and extend out towards the middle, like, say, if you had an opponent right there in front of you, you would be coming out to meet that opponent. Upper body, shoulders, elbow, forearm, wrists. Just some nice, yeah. And the coordination is also important too. As you can tell, I'm still not quite coordinated with this move. But I've heard that you have to do it an X number of times before your muscles remember what you're doing. And so it's just a matter of training your body to go ahead and carry on when your mind has wandered off somewhere. Which we all have a tendency to do. Yeah. And that was a new concept when I was learning to drive. It's like pick the foot up, put it on the brake, you know. Muscle memory. Saving your life yet again. Okay, why don't we go ahead and just loosen our hands like you're shaking off the water and just shaking off the stress or whatever the case may be, and just kind of let your whole body get involved and do the Tai Chi shake. You know, animals do the Tai Chi shake every day and they don't really realize it. They just, yeah. My dogs all actually do a little bit of yoga. They do the down dog. And sometimes they do the upward dog. Yep. They love that. Yep. It's just a natural thing to do. Okay. Nicely done. So let's continue on and let's, wise owl gazes backwards. So one palm goes behind the back of your head, and the other one goes palm out in the small of your back, and then just look over one shoulder and give it a nice gentle stretch. Linger for a bit and just take a nice natural breath. And then we'll shift over to the other side. Looking over that shoulder and letting go any tight spots that might be in the other side of your neck, and take a nice little easy breath. And let's switch back over. Once again, looking back over your shoulder like the wise owl. I think the wise owl can go ahead and turn his head all the way around, but we're not doing that today. We won't be doing that today. We would be done. All right, so we'll switch back over again. Nice little stretch. Excuse me, I seem to be losing my voice. All right, so as we switch our arms, let's look up towards the ceiling. Get a little bit different stretch going on our neck. And then look down at the ground as we shift hands again. And breathe. And then switch once again, looking at the sky. If you can see that far through the ceiling, you're doing good. And breathe. And then back down towards the earth once again. Now this time, as we switch our hands, tilt your head to where your ear is just coming over to meet your shoulder a bit. And then we'll switch and tilt down towards the other side. Did you get a pop going, huh? All right, that's the icing on the cake. And so we'll switch. Breathing gently as we go along. And one last time, other side. All right, nicely done. So we'll go ahead and let the wise owl go about his business as we rotate our arms, our forearms at the elbow, going from in to out, inboard to outboard, just loosening and lubricating that elbow joint very gently. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and change direction. Now let's go ahead and give our other arm a chance going. Either way, it doesn't matter. I happen to start going from inboard to outboard. Either way is fine. It's the movement that's important. And yeah, how you do the movement is important. But not essential. And then we rotate in the opposite direction. All right, good. So now let's go ahead and couple our hands together and just do some shoulder rolls like we're just sneaking up on somebody out on the lawn. Just kind of maybe playing tag with somebody and just trying to sneak away before you become it. And let's go ahead and change direction. Looks like we got to back up real quick or they're going to get us. And all right, we're back to where we started. Nicely done. Wow, you are getting a bonus. I like that. There you go. That's what it's all about. Just self-maintaining. It is. Truly. All right, so let's push the bamboo out of the way as we're going down the path. Bamboo grows incredibly fast. If you have in a environment where it grows natively, it can grow a foot a day. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh. Wow. Sure. Yeah, bamboo is very, very fibrous and very, very handy. All right, so we got our pathway clear here now, and so we can got enough room here. We can spin our silk wheel as we continue lubricating and loosening our joints. This one is particularly good for frozen shoulder, which I think that's about a notch or two above from where my shoulder is. It's been having its issues, but I would truly hate to have frozen shoulder, but keeping it moving is definitely the best way to keep it from locking up on you. And we're loosening as well as strengthening. As always, just make this your own. I kind of like the variety of switching directions. All right, so let's give our other arm a shot at this. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this up, and we'll go on to another spinning type. Let's spin the big wheel. Let's bring our arms up towards the ceiling and spin the wheel. Yeah, I love this one. Like a big old Ferris wheel, I'm thinking. I just like to get as rotating in a couple different directions, actually. Just like those rides that they set up in the shopping center parking lots. So as our arms come up to the 12 o'clock position, we can go ahead and change direction at that time. Ooh, just got a pop in my shoulder. Yay! Alrighty, well, let's just do one last rotation from this point, I should add. And then we'll let our arms halt when we get to the 12 o'clock position. And then come on down. You know what, I think, why don't we just go right into our nice handheld high side stretch. Nice little stretch. Let's bring it out to the corner of the room. Take a little breath. And then let it rise back up, over, down, and up over to the other side. And then reach out to the corner of the room. And breathe. And then Come back up and down. Let's do that one more time on the other side. Up and over. Then out and reach. Coming back up. And one last time on this side. And then reach. And then back up. And back to center. Okay, that was great. You know what? Hands held up to the heavens. Gotta love that. So bringing your hands up to through the center, interlacing your fingers, letting your palms flip to the ceiling. And a nice long stretch. Letting it go. Back around for another one. If you've ever seen those little porcelain figurines of Buddha, and you see him like this is what he's doing. Yep. I think it's Shibashi number something or another. But that's what he's doing. So, going back down around. Yeah, that looks okay. Hey, Irma. Glad you could join us. So we're just doing hands held up to the heavens right now. Just kind of coming around and interlacing your fingers like that. And as they come past your chin, you just kind of flip your palms towards the ceiling. Get a nice long stretch before letting go and sweeping down and around. And we'll do 2 more of these. That being 1. And then this will be the last one. All right, very good. Let's move on and do the sun salutation, which is one of my favorites. Cindy used to offer it in her Yoga-Lattes class. I love that. And yeah, definitely. So as luck would have it, there's a QiGong variation of the sun salutation. So it's just a 4-round form that we can begin with standing in the mountain pose, and then bring our hands up briefly in prayer. And then we send our hands up to the sky, and then we come down into a deep forward bend. And then we will pivot which is a little bit difficult on the carpet, but we'll pivot out into Warrior 2 position. So then our rear hand will flip palm facing the ceiling and drift upward. And now we are going to step forward with our rear foot to join the forward foot. And as we do that, we'll bring our hands around. And that is the first round. Then we'll just repeat, bringing our hands to the palm or to the prayer position briefly. And then sending them skyward. And this time we'll step out with the opposite foot and down into a deep forward bend. And we will twist in the opposite direction into Warrior 2. Flipping the rear hand upward, letting it drift up. And now stepping forward. And that would be round 2. Let's step back just a little bit. Round 3. Down into forward bend. And twisting, oh my gosh, twisting up into Warrior. Flipping the hand towards the ceiling. And then stepping in. All right, and that is round 3, so one last round. Hands to prayer. Hands to the sky. Down into forward bend. And pivot up into Warrior. Flipping the hand skyward, letting it drift up, up, up. And stepping it into the last round. Okay, I rather like that one. There's a variation I need to practice a little bit, but we'll do that next week. So, okay. Yeah. Let's see, where are we? Dancing with the rainbows. You can't go wrong with that. So, we'll get back into our standard shoulder width stance. Actually, maybe step out just a little bit wider than shoulder stance, kind of a modified horse position. And before we do Dancing with the Rainbow, I should probably introduce the Tai Chi pouring move. That it's a nice practice and a strengthening form whereby we shift our weight side to side, and typically we'll have 90% of our weight on one side and 10% on the other. This will be our center of gravity and our pillar of stability as well. And this is just an integral part of many Tai Chi and Qigong forms. So well worth practicing here each time we get together. But the least demanding of which will be Dancing with Rainbows. So what we'll do is we'll send our hands skyward, and as we shift our weight to one side, our arms will go in the opposite direction, And if you look up, you can spread your fingers and just play with the colors of the rainbow as you shift your weight from one side to another. I know I started off calling this dancing with the rainbow, which is actually a variation of playing with the rainbow, and we'll do the dancing here just in a second or two. Yeah. Now, if you look up at the sky where your fingers are going, that kind of helps you maintain your posture a little better, and which is essential. Okay, so now we can go ahead and transition to dancing with the rainbow, and that is just having the one arm up above with your fingers pointed down to the top of your head where all the meridians meet. And then as you shift, you just exchange hands. Back and forth. Let's call the little center is called the Bai-Wei, in case anybody was wondering. And it's where you have 100 of your chi pathways come up and meet there. All right, so as we come back up to the 12 o'clock position, let's go ahead and bring our arms down and let's circle our arms just to get the blood flowing again. As we circle our arms, you might notice that it somewhat resembles the embrace the tiger move and returning to the mountain. All right, well, from here, let us go ahead and push on the diagonal across our body from one side to the other with our palms and giving a gentle twist at our waist. And you might feel that little stretch as well as you're coming across. Very gentle. If you want to deepen that motion a little bit, you might try pulling back. And we'll make this the last push and pull before we come back to center. And we come back to center. What was I going to do? Oh, why don't we go ahead and, again, you missed out on this, so we'll pick up on some of that. We'll go ahead and just shake our hands and get the water shook off, or the stress, and just get that circulation going. Get that going. Alrighty. Okay, so let's continue with carrying the moon. Bringing the moon up and a bit over towards your, up above your shoulder, and then back down through the middle. On, off, onto the other side. Of course, we're at a perfect spot in the music tract. It just kind of goes with the gentle flow of the moon as we carry it up over our shoulder. And as your hands come back down towards the center, let's transition into playing with the clouds. With our upper hand traveling in the direction of our elbow, that our elbow is pointed, and the lower hand is just kind of following along, waiting for its turn to switch, and then heading into the opposite direction. The bottom hand can just kind of drift along as if though you're sliding it across a smooth surface like a countertop, or else, if you prefer, your lower hand can be palm up as if though you're holding a baby. So as we come back towards the center, why don't we go ahead and stop for a moment with our palms facing each other, just right there in front of our heart. And of course, we use the symbolism of the chi ball or the moon or whatever you want to call it. And we have that right in between our palms here. And so let's rotate our palms and push them out and around, circling our breath. Taking a breath in and then exhaling as that ball comes around. And it can be a big circle or a little circle, whatever you prefer. Let's go ahead and reverse the direction of that circle of breath. All right, very good. Let's park that chi ball right in the center here for one moment. And let's just kind of flip it on its side here. And let's bring one foot into the kickstand position. And then as we step out, we can bring that ball around in a different plane. So why don't we go ahead and reverse that rotation? So as our chi ball comes out and around, why don't we pick up our toes and let our heel pivot as we bring it around. And then as it comes across our body, we can pick our other toes up and pivot our other heel. And then we'll be shifted over to the opposite side where we can continue this horizontal rotation of our chi ball. I love the way you guys are making it your own. 'Cause that's what it's all about. Let's go ahead and reverse that rotation. And again, like we did on the last time, as we come around towards the front, let's lift our toe up and pivot on our heel. And we bring it back to center. All right, nicely done. Why don't we take a moment to get a little sip of water? I'm sorry, what? Absolutely. That's actually our goal, huh? Yeah, just to be in the moment and letting our what they call the monkey mind, letting that anxiety, the monkey mind, the daily living, letting it just come down. And of course, the breathing is a huge part of it. The movement connected with the breathing, or should I say, the breathing connected. It's integral. So. I'm going to say no. I would suggest that when you're doing a given form, you just you connect your breath with your movement, but it's got to feel natural. So there's really no correct way. So the only correct way is what's good for your body. So yeah, because continued breathing is the key to eternal life. Yeah. So that was kind of the punchline to a Tai Chi joke. Probably the only Tai Chi joke I've ever even heard, because they don't tend to joke much. Yeah, okay, here we go. So the student says, "Master, what is the secret to long living?" And the master says, "Keep breathing as long as you can." So it's like, okay then, gotcha. And then there's Dad. Take a little water break. Got all your errands going? Very much. They refer to QiGong, which is the parent group of Tai Chi, as Chinese yoga. Yeah, I've heard different masters in QiGong say that, And it's like, yeah, there's so many parallels, so many parallels. But if you think about the fact that India brought missionaries to China, and they brought Buddhism, and they brought martial arts, and they brought this exercising. So yeah, there's history there, definite history, definitely. But the way I describe it is, so Chinese medicine is like Serrano High School. Okay, so Chinese medicine is the institution, QiGong is the phys ed department, and Tai Chi is the martial arts division within the QiGong. Yeah, that's the way I describe it. So. Oh, you got some of your brew here. Okay, are you ready? So I thought we'd go ahead and that was kind of an extended, yeah, no, just an extended warm-up period, but that's okay. I thought we'd go ahead and do the 8 brocades. The 8 brocades is a set of 8 forms, Qigong forms, and it was named the brocades because the brocade is kind of a fine piece of cloth, and so a valued thing, a value. So they call it the 8 brocades. So this is just a little set that they recommend doing every day. You put your hot water on for the morning beverage, and as it's heating up, you do the 8 brocades. That was their game plan. It seems to work out really nice. All right, so. We begin with our prayer hands, which helps us focus also. And then we open the door, which is stepping out to the left to where we're shoulder width. And then the first of the 8 brocades is called hands held up to the heavens, which is what we were doing when you showed up, just as a warm-up, but it works really nice. So hands held to the heavens. Really a nice morning stretch. So we're doing hands held to the heavens. And let's do 2 more, just since I wasn't counting. Just winging it. Oh, yeah, I get major lost in the moment. All right, so as we bring our hands down, get prepared to draw the bow. And we usually add our little bing, and then we switch positions. And now we're on the other side. And then we let the arrow fly, bing. And then come around again and pull the bow taut, take aim, bing. the arrow fly. Bing. We'll make this the last one. Bing. And then we come back to center. So we bring our hands up in front of our heart and step out a little bit and push one palm skyward and the other palm down towards the earth. And we gaze momentarily at our upper hand. Take a moment to breathe, reflect, and then we gaze back to our other palm facing the earth. Again, taking a nice, easy breath, letting our mind go as we breathe. And then we bring our hands back to center and switch. And breathe. Looking down at our lower hand. And bringing it back through the center again. Once again, gazing at the back of our hand, facing the heavens. Taking a little breath. Gazing back towards the palm facing the earth. And we'll bring them back to center. And then step out a little bit wider this time into a modified horse dance. Put your hands on your hips and get ready to sway the head and shake the tail. Come around and back up on the other side with a little bit of a back bend as we shake our tail. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. And then switch back. Get a nice stretch in that lower back. Oh, yeah. A little bit of a back bend. Take a moment to breathe. And then one last time over this side. And let's pull it back in to center. This time step out. Hand in the small of your back with palm facing out. Other hand on the back of your neck as the wise owl gazes backwards. So let's look over our shoulder as far as we comfortably can and get a nice gentle neck stretch along with a nice gentle breath. And then we switch, gaze over the opposite shoulder and breathe. Switch once again. Looking back over the shoulders as far as you comfortably can. Let's do that one last time on this side. And then back to center. So now we're going to get into a modified horse stance. Bring our hands in towards our side with our fists balled up, knuckles facing to the ceiling. And we are going to clench the fists and glare fiercely as we go. And as we punch out, we go, ha! And then before you retract your hand, grab that person's coat and pull it back to you. And then punch out, ha! 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 ha, ha. One more time, ha, and then back to center. Yeah, yep. And that was Tai Chi, of course. That was Tai Chi, definitely. Subtle difference between Qigong and Tai Chi, but anyway, so brocade number 7 is 2 hands strengthen the kidneys and waist. So we have our 2 hands and we bring them up overhead, let them meet as if in prayer, but then we bring them down, 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 and then let them just kind of find their way around and down the back and following your legs down and then around your toes and linger there for a bit and visualize a small jewelry box right there in the middle. So grab a hold of that and we'll gently lift up back to the standing position and then push that on down. We'll do that 3 times. Bring our hands up, meeting in a prayer-like position, coming back behind the head, following the neck, and then up underneath the arms, down across your kidneys, down the backs of your legs, down, down, and around the toes. Once again, take a moment to visualize that jewelry box and just grab a hold of it and gently bringing it back up, and pushing it on in. We'll do that one last time. Coming down the legs, around the toes, conjuring up that jewelry box for one last time, grasping a hold of it and bringing it up to the level of your heart, pushing it on in. Okay, so the last brocade will be bouncing on the toes. So you'll be getting a little bit of balancing, a little bit of strengthening of your toes and your ankles and your calves. And so let's begin rising up on your toes and then letting go and just kind of clunking on your heels. Hopefully that isn't uncomfortable for you. Usually clunk about 6 times. So we've got maybe 2 more clunks to go. That one. And one last time. Okay, so come back to the ready position. And we always end with our prayer hand that salute with a little bit of a bow. And that was the 8 brocades. Thank you. Well, oh, I have neuropathy in my feet as well, so I know what you're saying. That that's a familiar move for me as well. So, yeah, definitely we should add a chair, And they have chair sessions that that we'll just practice up, and we'll do that in the future. So, you feeling okay though? Otherwise, okay. All right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know. I depend on the stretching, because I have problems with my back as well. So, I'm just sitting here calculating what we should do in the next 5 minutes. We should just continue doing some Qigong. So why don't we step out on the diagonal and scoop from the sea, scooping up the riches and the nutrients, and then just letting them flow over our body as we let go. As is usually the case, the music box knows when to play a comparable selection to go with our movement. Let's go ahead and scoop one more time on this side. And then we'll bring it back to the middle and step out on the other side. There's actually a modified version of this called Ball to the Valley. It just isn't as deep a scoop, but it's the same principle. In case that particular range of motion is too drastic for your body, you can always do Ball to the Mountain, or Ball to the Valley, I'm sorry. It's really the same move, just modified. So let's do one more scoop after we complete this one. And then we can come back to center. And then get ready to put your foot in the kickstand position, and we're going to go out, push our arms out from our shoulders, step out and push the waves. Okay, so as we draw our wave back, let's lift up our toe and pivot and switch over this opposite side and continue pushing the waves. drawing our hands back. Once again, pivot. Bring it forward and we do our horizontal flow as if though we were wiping off the table. Now let's go for that mirror behind the table. Everything here and feeling is dusty. No way around it. All right, good job. Let's bring it back to center where we'll go ahead and close, first packing up the Qi and pushing it back down into the lower dantian. Now let's close the door and we'll give our palm fist salute, martial arts salute. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Deb. All right. All right, thank you. Join us again Monday morning. We'll be at the park.